Perfect. Perfect.
Alright, here we are at Turbo Tech to drop off the turbo to get the bolt taken out. Alright, so we're back on the 31 today, so the turbo's off getting repaired. So I thought it would give me the opportunity to fix this stuff up that I made. So you can see there's a hole in the air conditioning, whatever this thing is. Pretty much there was an oil cooler mounted to the front of that with just a through whatevers, and I was trying to be really careful with the knife and get through them, and I missed and hit that and split it, so all the gas leaked out, which wasn't great. But anyway, I got the cooler off and put that onto that blue Clifford project, and I'd really like to have air conditioning back in this because it's now August and summer's starting to get pretty warm here, or coming into summer rather. So so yeah, I don't want to have to take it out because I'm lazy and it's hard, so I'm just going to go as ghetto as I can and basically hook an earth clamp to this and break out the TIG welder, see if I can't blow a hole in this cooler completely. So yeah, I'm just pretty much just going to disconnect the battery, pull this front set of lights off, these like the grill and these two lights, hook up the earth clamp and just burn it and see what happens. So yeah, I'm not real hopeful, but I've got a couple of spare ones. If I destroy it completely, I can just replace it, but I just try not to. Oh look, we have a friend. Hey little buddy. Yeah, what a cutie. Looks like a jumping spider. He's got some buff forearms, far out. Anyway, yeah, so we'll get into that. Hopefully you see some B-roll with the GoPro, and we'll do our best. Okay, so we've got everything taken off from around it, so that should give us enough room to get in there. So it doesn't need anything more than a tack really, just to fill that little hole there. So we'll, yeah, I might trim some of these out of the way, give it a bit of a clean. I've disconnected the battery, so goodbye radio settings, and shouldn't short anything out or melt ECUs hopefully. So we'll give this a whirl. It's probably poorly advised to do this, so don't do it. This is just me ruining all of my things because I don't care. So let's hope for the best. Okay, so gave it a bit of a clean just with a plastic scrubber. So I'm going to come out, set up the welder and everything, and then hit this with some acetone and a stainless steel wire brush to get it as clean as I can. Obviously it could be a lot cleaner, but also I don't care, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I got my welder all set up and ready to go. Got the stainless steel wire brush. I've got some acetone, so give this a scrub and a wipe down with both, and then see if I can't strike an arc and burn it all down. Alright, so you can see I didn't really have much space to work with, and it went amazingly. So pretty much as soon as I touched filler rod to the alloy, it all just caved in, and I just touched it with the lightest amount of pressure and it all just fell apart. So a couple of things at play, probably not clean enough and probably had it too hot, but ultimately I have no idea what I'm doing. So it was shot in the dark and it failed, so it's time to rip this piece of junk out, put another one in. So I suspect today I'll just get this one out. I don't know if I'll get another one in today, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, also if you do try this, which I recommend you don't, you can immediately smell all of the chemicals that were once inside here getting burnt off, and it is bad, and you should run and not do this because you will die from the bad things. So that's a great point. Anyway, time to put a new one in. So while I had the TIG out, I just did this quick little tack on both sides for this thing. So you can see it's got a slight angle. They come sort of pre-laser cut, and you just bend them till they align up, and then you're supposed to weld them, but it's been in there for a year and a half and I never welded it, so while it's out I figure I'd chuck some tacks on there. I don't think it's a problem, but whatever, it's good fun. So yeah, massive fail on that. That's okay, just means you get to pull more of the car apart and throw on a new one. Alright, so the front's off. Just disconnected this line from here because this can stay attached to that, and also this line from here because this piece stays attached here. So the only thing you got to watch for is these O-rings. So this one decided to stay inside here, so I just took it out. It's a nice sliver of alloy, it would hurt a lot. So I took the O-ring out and put it into onto this hose here, because this one has been remade. Got it made because this is a Series 3 hose on a Series 2 car, which makes it easier to run a turbo in there, because the Series 2 setup's this big thing here, so that's out of the way. I might even see if I can get a new power steering line that can go under here. As you can see, it's been kind of rubbing on the intake, but I'm going to remake the intake anyway, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see how we go. Anyway, so get that out now. So I think it's just these 2 bolts at the top, and then there's 2 plugs at the bottom that it just sits into. So it might have to go up, forward, down and out, so I might have to take this bracket off, maybe this chin piece to get this thing over, because I do not want to have to take the radiator out, because that's drop all the fluid and remove the fan at the same time, which is not fun. So I'll try and come forward, but if I can't do that, I guess we'll have to go backwards. But yeah, I'm not keen for it. It's probably a good thing this condenser's coming out, because it's pretty thrashed. There's quite a few pieces of damage on it. Anyway, let's get it out and see how we go. Okay, so I took this chin spoiler thing off and just undid these 2 bolts at the top once that was out of the way, and then pretty much went up, pulled the bottom out, and now it's dropping down. So you can see down here that both sides are out, and we've dropped it a considerable amount. So you just got to be careful of these lines here. It's quite a tight radius, and there's some wiring and stuff in behind here, so you don't want to damage any of that. Also got to watch out for this hose. See if we can keep it. We might change it, I'm not sure, because there's another connection down there, but it's much easier to get it out of the hole with just the 1 hose coming through instead of 2. So yeah, pretty much just got to bring this side this way to get that through the hole, then drop the whole thing down, and we should be able to lift it up and out of here. So let's give it a whirl. And there we have it. Whole thing's out. You can see my beautiful Adrad all alloy super massive expensive radiator here. Minimal amount of damage, which is nice, because that's worth more than most of the car. These are the old plugs that we used to hold the oil cooler on. There's probably some sick HID wiring I did. So yeah, pretty much now we just got to go down to the other car, score the other one of these, and swap all the good bits across. But while I'm here, I might see if I can move the radiator up a little bit and get the bung into the little pedestal to hold it in place. Okay, so this is the bit that's got to go in. Pretty much there's just a peg at the bottom of the radiator. It sits on the peg and through the body, much like this used to sit in here to hold the air conditioning condenser thing. Just go straight in. So I'll disconnect or undo these 2 bolts here. Hopefully I'll be able to lift the radiator up enough to get the second one in. So I think we've got, oh, you can't even see it. Anyway, there's one on one side and there's one missing on the other, so we'll go with it. Okay, with the help of Cashew there, managed to lift it up, get it cocked a little bit, just enough so that I could squeeze it in. So I've got one there and one there. So I'll stop the radiator rubbing through on the bottom if it hasn't already, because it's been like that for bloody 3 years or 2 years or something. So I might also try and piece together my intercooler setup now while I'm here, just to see how it'll fit and look. But it has also started raining, so I'm madly pulling clothes off the line, which is great. And we're back at TurboTech to pick up the bolt that they managed to remove. Yay!